that goes back to a question when you were stating that you first learned about the alleged improprieties when the rumor mill started in '07. With due respect, I think that the public might say, how could you have not known? I mean, you're a judge.
Oh, I think the operative word was significant concerns. There were some rumblings in 2006, and there were some specific conversations that gave me pause, but it wasn't anything that gave me enough to feel that I had an obligation to go to the authorities, because I simply didn't have any evidence.
Well, one of the things that had been brought up, and we believe it is being investigated, is the underinsured motorist. And it's been stated that attorneys have been complaining for years that there was something wrong with the system in Luzerne County. And that had been going on for years and years and years. And it finally came to a head, of course, when the corruption scandal broke. Had you ever heard those rumblings before? And did that ever bring concern to you that there might be some bias in the appointment of arbitrators?
Did not hear that. And during the years 2004, 5, and 6, we can now look back and see that there had been some changes with motions court and some of the court rules that perhaps made it easier for abuses to take place. But I interact with the civil lawyers on a regular basis, and I can tell you categorically, I didn't have a single instance where lawyers had come to me and said, by the way, this is something you should be looking out for because we think there are some abuses going on.
Did you have concerns about other courthouse operations? Some of the things that we've read about, former court administrator William Sharkey trying, and apparently with some success, to get a lot of his family members on the county payroll. There was the testimony at a disciplinary hearing for Ann Lakuta, in which it was obvious that there were personality conflicts and run-ins with coworkers. She may have abused her authority in some instances with use of county workers. From an outsider's perspective, it sounds like it was a dysfunctional workplace, but you're characterizing it differently.
Well, a lot of this is by hindsight, because as charges were brought, I believe charges were brought against William Sharkey in August of 2008. At that point, and of course charges were brought against judges in January of 2009, at that point there was a lot more scrutiny given to the internal workings of the court and activities at the courthouse. And the simple fact is that most judges are consumed with administering their own docket. You have no idea what it's like to have 5 sets of lawyers on a 2-week-long medical malpractice trial, and they expect nothing short of the court's undivided attention as they're absorbed in that case. Correspondingly, with a homicide case, there is just full throttle attention being given to the matter at hand. And with respect to administration, it's unfortunate. We can look back and see that if there had been more checks and balances, maybe some of these abuses could have been discovered sooner, but there's nothing we can do to change that. We can only emphasize a commitment to trying to have more checks and balances going forward and trying to recruit people and hire people that will have high standards so that we don't have a recurrence of this type of conduct.